I wanted to kind of bring us back to where we've been this morning. So we talked a ton about customer experience. We heard from both Forrester and AT&T about the value of making the experiences personal, valuable, and digital. But to expand on it a little bit further, what you heard from Dino was the focus on making it not only a valuable experience, but also an entertaining experience as they transition their brand. And really, as customers have come to expect entertainment as a key part of their experience with companies. We talked about personalization, but as we heard from Andrew, it's not just making it personal, but also making it relevant to the individual at every touch point in real time, based on everything that's known about that person at that time. And then clearly, it's digital, but the future is digital everywhere. So how do you do that at scale? The interesting thing is we heard about 3 different types of personalization: segmentation, personalization, and then individualization. And we thought about a metaphor to support our discussion about how SundaySky approaches the individualization execution. Segmentation is kind of like the teddy bear. So if we use a toy metaphor, you can have teddy bears in multiple shapes and sizes, different colors, different textures. But really, you kind of have limited options how you play with a teddy bear. The second, we use the Barbie metaphor. Again, different hair color, different skin tones, different outfits, different accessories, different toys that can be added. But the constraints of the personalization is really driven by Mattel, the choices that they've made for how someone is going to play with that Barbie doll. And then the third is the Lego block. So if you put 30 children in a Lego store with that big giant bucket of Legos, and you said, go ahead and play, you'll see 30 completely different outcomes that only limited by the creativity and the innovation and the ideas of those children at that moment in time. Because if you put the same 30 kids in the store the next day, you're likely to see 30 different outcomes than what you saw the prior day. So that's the idea of breaking these elements down to the individual components and then allowing you to put them back together at piece part level to truly enable personalization at the individualized level at scale. So if we take a look back at the inception of SundaySky and the inception of SmartVideo, we actually invented a software technology that used the Lego brick metaphor from day one. We broke video down to its component parts and then allow video to be assembled in real time by choosing the relevant component parts, the visuals, the narrations, the scenes that are most relevant to that person based on the logic that was defined. And we, as Dino shared, launched a single story for a single audience at a single touch point. Then over the years, we expanded by enabling a multi-touch engagement and introduced the concept of a scene library to make it even more modular, to make it more efficient, to drive scale. And then we enabled these programs across multi-channel. Again, you heard from Dino about both paid media channels and owned media channels, enabling a multi-touch storytelling approach that allows companies to drive value at different stages of the life cycle. And last year, at last year's summit, we introduced the personalized storytelling framework. And the reason we did that is we recognize that as more and more stories are being built to support different touch points across different channels, we needed to put a structure in place that supported scale. And so we developed a personalized storytelling framework. We introduced it at last year's summit. And actually, as we look back over the years, this is our 5th annual summit. And every year we introduced a new concept or a new capability that, as we look back in time, became business as usual. So just as a recap, the storytelling framework, and I'm actually going to start in the upper left with audience, and I'm going to move clockwise around it. This is how we develop programs today. You start with an audience definition. Who's eligible for a story to be told? Then you move to the goals. What are we trying to accomplish by engaging this audience with this story? Andrew pointed out that just thinking about your business through your goals is not enough. So also, what goals would the customer be trying to solve with this engagement. Goals could be related to improving revenue, could be taking cost out of service, could be customer experience, but most importantly, again, back to the theme that Dino shared, they should be measurable, and they should be measurable over time. The third element is reach, and this is really the where and the when. So where do you engage them, what channel, and when do you engage them in the life cycle? So if someone authenticates into your portal, do you hit them with an interstitial, with a communication, or do they have to find the opportunity on a page, or do you send them an email, or do you use pre-roll advertising for people that have left your site? All of those are different channels and different touch points for you to be able to tell stories to your audience. And then you have the story itself. And again, independent of video, the idea of storytelling means that there are topics that you include in a story that are relevant to that audience. And topics can be included or excluded depending upon the individual person. Now, because SundaySky chose video, we equate topics to scenes. So scenes are included or excluded for a particular person in an audience based on what's known about that person. Then you move to data. And really data powers all of this. And as most of you in the room can attest, tends to be the most challenging situation that we have to deal with is getting access to data that allows you to tell your stories. But think about data across three different axes. First and foremost, data informs the audience. So segment or there are multiple variables in segment that inform audience. There's personal transactional history. There's data about you as an individual. And then there's the data about what you're doing at that moment in time. And all of those data variables can be used to define an audience, can be used to drive the logic for whether a scene is relevant or not relevant to me as an individual in that audience, and then powers the logic that determines how to personalize a scene to me if it's included in my story. And then lastly is the creative look and feel. And again, you saw 3 different videos from Dino, and there was a different look and feel depending upon the type of touch point, the type of story, and the engagement that they're looking to deliver. So this storytelling framework is now business as usual, and you'll hear from members of our team this afternoon leveraging this storytelling framework as a means of driving program execution. But as we talked about earlier, when you're thinking about putting the customer at the center of your business, and you want every interaction to be personalized and relevant, and you want every interaction to be engaging and entertaining, and you want every interaction to be done via digital everywhere, a program-centric storytelling framework is not enough. And think about it through this perspective. So let's say I was a customer of AT&T, and at a moment in time, I'm upgrade eligible for a new device. Maybe I have a propensity to churn. Maybe I'm delayed on a payment. And maybe I've just logged into the portal because I'm trying to address an issue that I'm having. And so at that moment in time, I could actually fit into 4 separate audiences. And so if I'm in those 4 audiences, do you really want to send me 4 different videos of maybe 90 seconds each that I have to watch to be able to resolve my problem at that moment in time? Remember what Andrew said. Part of personalization is valuing that person's time and being able to solve their problems proactively, maybe before they even realize they had them. So a different way to think about that would be perhaps a much shorter experience with video that introduces the fact that there are 4 topics that I may be interested in, and then I have the choice of going deeper into a topic that's most relevant to me to be able to solve my problem at that moment in time. It's a different way of thinking about personalized video engagement. So every year we introduce a new concept at our summit. This is the 5th annual summit. This year, we've recognized that the new normal is about customer experience with customer at the center. We recognize that the critical requirements is to deliver personalized customer engagement everywhere digitally. And so what we're going to introduce this year is video-led engagement everywhere. And to share what we mean by video-led engagement everywhere, I want to introduce our Senior Vice President of Creative and Industry Solutions, Guy Atzmon, who's going to introduce a new capability. Please welcome Guy.
ROC, we running this rap shit. Memphis Bleak, we
work
running
or
this
not?
rap shit. B-Mac, we running this rap shit. Freeway, we run this rap
Thanks, Jim. Hi, everybody. I am a sneakerhead. It's a problem. The first question that new SundaySky employees ask me is not about the framework or about the look and feel of a video. It's how many pairs of sneakers do you have? I tend to answer that you can probably see me for a full business quarter every day, and you won't see a repeat. That's the order of magnitude. But I love sneakers. I love sneakers for a lot of different reasons. To me, sneakers, first of all, represent a blend of creativity and technology. A lot of thought goes into designing sneakers, and creativity and technology are the two things that I love in my day-to-day as well. Sneakers, the sneaker industry drives innovation in marketing and in advertising and always has. And also, sneakers, of course, at the end of the day, some people actually use them to play sports. It represents that motivation and that winning mentality for me as well. But more than anything else, sneakers are about personal stories for me and my personal connections. Like the Air Jordan 4s, my retro Air Jordan 4s remind me of the days in Tel Aviv as a teenager in the 90s, waking up at 4 a.m. to see Jordan drop 55 points on my Knicks. Or the Back to the Future dunks released last year as an anniversary to the year Marty McFly actually arrived in. Love those sneakers as well. So it's all about these personal stories, personal moments that I have with my collection and my sneakers. Furthermore, Nike also lets you literally design your own sneakers through their Nike ID program. And this is just an example of one of my Jordans that I customized. You can see the name tag on the laces. Another really cool thing that Nike is doing is around they are the masters of customer experience as well. They put the customer in the center. Nike launched a couple of years ago an app called Sneakers. It started out as an invitation-only app, but now it's open to the public as well. And the Sneakers app is a personalized experience as well. It's basically built out of a feed, and we talked about, we saw a couple examples of feed-based apps today. It's also a feed-based app with cards that are personalized based on my taste, based on my preferences, based on my purchase behaviors, and you can scroll through and see all the different recommendations. Ending with this pair, which I had to get for today. So some great work from Nike, great work on that app. And we looked at that as one of our sources for inspiration in what we're presenting today. So today we want to share what we see as a video-centric mobile app experience and how SmartVideo can complement and live within a mobile app as a prominent feature. We call it the personalized video feed. The personalized video feed is a feed-based channel within an app that's built out of smart videos, out of personalized videos, split into different topics, prioritized and curated according to your recent behaviors, your recent interactions with a brand, and it really bubbles up the most important information for you while keeping control in your hands as a user. So today, a lot of mobile apps, and we'll talk about banking, and this is going to be the example we're going to share today is around banking. Mobile apps are very, very good at task-oriented features. You go into your app, you know what you want to do, you want to check your account, you might want to pay your bill, you might pay a person, look how much data you have left. You go in there with a certain purpose in mind, and it's very functional in that way. we feel that the app can be leveraged for so much more. Essentially, when a user goes into their app, they're signaling to you that they're willing to have a conversation with the brand at that point in time. They're raising their hand and saying, I'm here to have a conversation. If we're only using the apps to serve as very pinpointed, task-oriented apps, we're losing an opportunity to talk to the customer, to bubble up relevant topics for them, to make recommendations, make suggestions, and help them get more out of their service. So we looked at a couple of design themes, a couple of customer experience themes, thinking about this new experience. One of them, as I mentioned, is the idea of a video feed. A video feed, or in general, the card-based feed, is a very popular mechanism for apps today. We saw the Verizon app earlier. We saw a lot of apps that use this card-based scroll device. Facebook recently introduced a video-specific feed. So if you go into the Facebook app, there's an icon on the bottom for videos, and you can just see videos that are totally relevant for you. So this is a behavior and interface that users are really used to. The other theme that we looked at was the idea of balancing between keeping control in the user's hands and letting them control their experience on one hand, and on the other, bubbling up and curating relevant content, curating and serving the most relevant content for the user, helping them make intelligent, personalized decisions through the app. So Netflix is a great example of a company, and again, mentioned before. Netflix does great content recommendation, but it still gives you the control of the app. So some of the content recommendation is based on your past behaviors. Some of the content recommendation is based on what you like and your ratings within the app. But again, at the end of the day, you're in control of the app. Pinterest is another great example. Pinterest serves you a blend of recommendations between people who you follow, but at the same time, it also bubbles up content from other people outside of your network, which the algorithm thinks is interesting for you. So those are two of the design themes that we looked at and incorporated into our experience. So before we jump into it, just to frame the experience, this is an art of the possible demo. It's still a mock-up. The demonstration you're going to see is for a banking app within a banking app for a made-up bank called Skyview. We're going to go through 3 different user experiences just to show you how different personas and different levels of interaction with the app work. We designed this experience for today, at least, as an audio-on experience. So you'll hear narration as part of this experience. One of the things that we're considering and we're thinking about as we roll this out, as we roll the solution out, is audio off is going to change the content of the video itself. Obviously, not every time a user logs on to their banking app, they're in a private place, so we don't want it to be an intrusive experience. We're leaving that in the hands of the user as well. So that's kind of the framework. You'll see on I'm going to hook up here in a second. On the main screen, you're going to see a feed from my phone and how the experience looks like. On the surrounding screens, you're going to see how the user interaction looks like. So, it's not a tennis match. You don't have to turn your head around too much, but we thought it would be cool for you guys to have an opportunity to see actual hand interaction, but this is where you can see the main content. Okay, so the first experience that I'm going to share is going to be for a first-time user. I'm going to be Reynolds for the next couple of minutes. Reynolds lives in Denver. It's the first time Reynolds is using the app. He's a long-time existing customer of Skyview Bank, but it's the first time using the app. All right, so I'm logging in.
Hey Reynolds, welcome to your Skyview app, a video-centric experience that will give you a new view of your financial picture. Let's show you around. As soon as you open the app, you'll see the information that's most relevant to you. And as you scroll down, you'll find other topics that may be of interest. For a more traditional navigation, you can always tap the top left menu, or to search, tap the top right. Each of your sessions begins with your home screen, giving you a quick view of your accounts. Here are your current balances. Just tap on any of your accounts here to get more information.
So these are my 3 accounts. I want to learn a little bit more about my Visa account. I'm going to click in there.
See, you chose to dive into your credit card account. So here are 5 transactions that are, as of this moment, still pending. One of them is a bit larger than normal, so we hope you got something good. As for payments, here's the last one you made. Did you know that it pushed you safely under 30% of your credit limit? Well, you do now. So let's go ahead and scroll down to see more relevant information. Swipe left to dive deeper into a topic.
Okay, so now I'm going to start swiping down to see more content. The first one is about paperless billing. Not that interesting for me. What's this one?
Your FICO score is 765 out of 850. Nice job, because that score is considered above average by most lenders. A good FICO score qualifies you for opportunities, and this handy app will happily bring them to you. Carrying a balance of under 30% of your total credit limit contributes to a good FICO score and tells banks and lenders that you're far from overspending. So keep up the good work.
So we get some information about the FICO score. We have an overview of what the score is to begin with, then a little explanation about why it's important and why the FICO score is important to you, and then a tip. And that tip could be keep up the good work, or it could be how to improve your FICO score if needed. Again, a lot of personalization. All of this is my real data being used here. Gonna keep scrolling.
Congratulations! Your score pre-qualifies you for an offer for a 3.4% mortgage rate, which is excellent for Denver. So tap here to learn more or here to give your mortgage advisor a call right now.
So based on my FICO score, based on my financial situation, there's an opportunity here as well to bubble up some offers that are relevant for the user. And again, the videos are interactive, so I can click here to make a call directly, or to learn more and dive deeper. That was Reynolds' session. Now I want to call up Megan, who's going to be playing the part of Julie.
You know, it's a really good thing I have a credit card because I really like to use it for shopping. I do know that I had a duplicate charge as well, and I had to go through this process and chat the agent, and I think I figured it out, but I'm not really sure. Yeah, so Skyview, it's been a good experience. I've used the app a couple times now with the video first, and I like it. It's kind of cool.
Okay.
Good to see you again, Julie. As always, here are your main accounts.
I guess I'm going to have to work on my savings.
Before you go too far, we have some news about your Skyview Cobalt Visa account. The duplicate charge on the 15th of last month has been credited back to your account. Your points balance at this very moment just tipped above $30,000. Now, let's take a deeper dive into your rewards. You earn reward points every time you use your Cobalt Skyview card. Remember that some categories offer more points for each dollar you spend. 3 times on travel, 2 times on gas and merchandise, and 1 time on everything else. Here's your summary for last month. Looks like you're really racking up points with merchandise. Since you haven't redeemed any of your points yet, let's make sure you know how.
So Julie, as mentioned before, she has a lot of points to begin with. So the video rendered here is focused on the rewards points, what kind of balance she has, and really encouraging her to start using the points, again, to encourage that loyalty, to encourage engagement with the bank and the program, and to take advantage of her benefits.
Just go to the left menu and tap Rewards. Or if you want to take a look at some of the current offers we have available for you, just scroll here. You can use points to remove current eligible charges. And this month, it will take 30% less points to pay off restaurant transactions. You can check out other transaction categories or see all of your eligible transactions here.
And we'll introduce a swipe left mechanism where Julie can swipe between different offers.
You can also use points to unlock deals from top brands. Here's a gorgeous handbag you might like, available for 2,500 points. Not your style? Swipe left to see more. We know that Saks Fifth Avenue is one of your favorites. Did you know you can get a $150 gift card for 1,000 points? Tap to shop right now, or keep on scrolling for more offers.
Thank you, Julie. You can see, again, she never used points, and we really wanted to introduce and educate different ways to use those points, right? Using them to eliminate existing transactions on your current bill, something that I learned that is possible actually doing this app, and it's pretty helpful. Offering a specific product that could be interesting for her through points, and then a gift card as a third type of points conversion. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Mark. I've been a SkyView customer for a number of years. I use the app probably 2-3 times a week pretty regularly, check my balances. I use it a lot to do peer-to-peer payments. And I travel a lot. I'm going internationally to Japan soon. Not as soon as it says, guys from our Japan team. Not as soon as it says, but I am coming.
Good morning, Mark. You're up early today. Here's a quick peek at your accounts. Are your bags packed yet? It was smart to notify us about your upcoming travel, so you can use your card abroad freely. Let's have a look at some of your travel benefits. Take advantage of VIP treatment before you even leave the ground at O'Hare, including lounge access. Here's how you'll find it in that busy airport. Enroll in the airline free credit benefit and order drinks, snacks, and entertainment on us. With this benefit, you'll be reimbursed for up to $100 in statement credits for eligible in-flight purchases. Tap here to enroll, or swipe left to see more travel benefits. You won't pay foreign transaction fees when you use this card abroad. Taking your average travel spend, it looks like you'll save around $112 just by leaving your other cards in your wallet.
So I didn't know that it gave me all the lounge access.
It looks like you'll save around $112.
And it's a good reminder that I don't pay foreign transactions fees, which is a big reason I got this card, but I may not necessarily have remembered.
Yeah, so a couple of things. As part of the experience, because Mark notified us that, notified the app that he's about to travel, we're promoting a lot of travel-centric content here. So we want to educate him about the benefits of the card, make sure he takes advantage of them. Again, leverages data, looks at his average travel spend from the past, and then shows him how much he could save by using this card with no foreign transaction fees. And really that's the idea there, is to keep the card top of wallet, top of mind as he's traveling.
And relatively quick personal, truly personal aside, I got an email from one of my credit cards that I use quite a lot, usually for business, recently that was somewhat similar to this. But it said, "Thank you for letting us know that you're traveling. You don't have to do anything." And I thought, did I really just get an email? Really? Just I don't have to do anything? Like, tell me something. What benefit would I get? Tell me some better way that I can use it. How is this going to make my travel better?
And remember, while you're away, you can still make small payments to people back at home easily with QuickPay. So your dog sitter, house cleaner, and gardener can happily hold down the fort.
That's quite a staff.
Again, this is not real.
Thank you, Mark. So as you see, even the QuickPay messaging that we included here, while it's not necessarily directly related to travel, we wanted to present it through the lens of travel. A lot of opportunity with this idea. We see this, again, as living within existing apps, as a new feature within the app, the personalized video feed. We really think that this can promote more time spent on apps, better user adoption, opportunity to upsell, cross-sell, and create a more engaged and a happier user. So we're currently looking for our design partners, and I'm happy to dive into more detail around what the solution is and how we can bring this to market together. Thank you.
I'm a Villanova alum. That's our fight song, and I guess we added some additional personalization. So we spent some time this morning talking about the new normal, where customer is at the center of the universe and customer experience is the primary means of differentiating your brands competitively. We focused on the fact that customer-centric engagement is the primary means of executing on that strategy. And then we talked about the expectation is that experiences and engagements need to be personal. And we introduced the concept that we believe, and our mission is to make this a video-led engagement approach everywhere. So as all of you take your thoughts back to your companies and you think about how to drive this customer-centric experience, we hope that you'll join us in pursuing that mission of making it a video-centric approach. Thanks.